Live from the City of Angels, you are watching MMT Sunday Night Spectacular as we have a packed show tonight. Of course, we're going to do box office as we kick off the show. And then later on this hour, we're going to be joined by Scott Menzel live from Toronto. He's doing those back-to-back award season festivals. He's going from Telluride to Toronto. We'll get his picks for Toronto and what films are going to be the big Oscars contenders coming up here very shortly. Award season is underway, but we start with this. The Nun has won the weekend, down 39% from the first. The first one was over 50 million. This one ended up a little bit under that. But listen, considering where we are, I'm not going to say it's a bad take. It's not a bad, right, number. Here's the deal. Ultimately, we are in a bad space, right? We are in a space where we are going to get some films that are just going to be mid. Thank God for the film that I saw tonight, Jawan. We're going to talk about that one here shortly, but let's go straight to the Warner Brothers email from the Nun II and the breakdown of what happened here. Domestically, it was at 32.6. Again, that's roughly minus 20 million versus the first Nun. So it's starting to wear off. Eventually, the Conjuring universe, the wheels were going to come off. There's only so much you can do, right, with that franchise and with the film. The Nun is completely boring. My God, what a snooze fest that was. Internationally, though, 52.7, so you go worldwide 85.3 million. Top market, United States, obviously. Then we go Mexico, Indonesia, and Brazil, and Italy, and Spain. And listen, at the end of the day, this is going to be profitable for Warner Brothers. It is a roughly $40 million film. So you take the number 40, multiply by 2. I say 2.5. Let's make it 90. We're already at 85. We're almost at profitable. So that's why you get these movies over and over. Some international highlights. Number one U.S. film in 52 overseas markets. And in like-for-like markets, using today's exchange rates. I love when they do that. The film came in as the second biggest opening of the Conjuring universe and ahead of Megan, Evil Dead Rise, 200% over Evil Dead Rise overseas. So that's really nice. Domestic highlights, it is, again, $32 million. The top markets were L.A., New York, Dallas, Houston, San Francisco. Number one spot. Give it up for me, everybody. My home theater. We wear the AMC. We display that proudly, the flag outside. The AMC flag here at Burbank, number one, followed by AMC Orange in LA. LA had so many of the top 10 markets. Go back and watch if you need to. We've got the breaking box office show for you, and that will get you everything you need to know when it comes to the top 10. But I do want to go into the global numbers here as we look at this Jawan. We're going to get to that in a moment. I want to talk about that film, and I want to give you an evaluation of it. It is kick-ass. I can't wait to talk about it. Give me a second. We go through the top 10 worldwide. The Nun is number one, followed by Jawan. Equalizer 3, now at 107 million worldwide. Oppenheimer at 891 million worldwide. Barbie at $1.4 billion worldwide. So we are seeing these films continue to climb. The problem for the rest of the year is going to be the fact that we are going to get a bunch of crap. We really don't have a major film coming our way unless you talk about that Taylor Swift concert movie. Is that the one? I mean, when Dune 2 vacated 2023, it was a major impact to movie going, to the theaters, to the AMC, the Regal, the Cinemarks of the world. This is bad news because there's just not a lot of quality stuff. You look at Wish, possibly. You look out at, Aquaman, end of the year. Who knows after The Flash? You've got Wonka, you got Color Purple. Those are all so far in. The Marvels is going to tank. You guys know that, okay? It'll probably do better than we think it will because of the fact that there's nothing between now and then that gets you all that excited. So therefore, you're going to go. Killers of Flower Moon is interesting because it's got that IMAX World release going forward. Apple and Paramount combining on that. I love it. It's going to do better than a lot of people expect because of the fact that it has no real competition, nothing major. What always happens, what we talk about when it comes to box office, when there's nothing in the theaters for weeks, the next film benefits because no one has gone to the movies. I went tonight to see Jawan. We're going to talk about it right now. A solid debut. Again, bring back the world numbers on this, and you're going to see it's the number 2 film in the world with a total of $64 million already, most of that from the home country in India. So obviously that's hugely successful there. Here, 6.2 for the weekend. It opened on Wednesday, so it's got 7.6 million overall. Let's talk about the film. Let's talk about Jawan because I am a fan. Saw it tonight at the AMC 16, the number 1 theater usually every single weekend for any movie. Why is AMC so big out here in Burbank? First of all, there are 3 theaters. There's the 16, there's the 8, and there's the 6. And each of them have their own little thing going on. The 16, obviously the largest of the 3. I like the 8. It's in the mall. You get this kind of screening room atmosphere to it. No more than like 100 seats. Some of them are like 50 seats, 35 seats. The 6 is the bunker theater, and that's an interesting place too. You can't go wrong. So you got 3 theaters doing the numbers. And remember, here in LA, for those of you who are not familiar with how, Los Angeles works, we used to have a number of theaters here in LA, certainly the ArcLight Hollywood, that is gone. And when you get rid of something that big, the ArcLight Hollywood was the place to go see a movie. Stars went there. Everyone who lived in that densely populated area went to the ArcLight Hollywood. But once you remove it, there's a vacuum. It's gone. Like, where are we going to go see a movie? Granted, you can go to the TCL and you can see, 7 screens there, the giant IMAX, and then the indoor, 6 screens there. Most people make the trip to Burbank. It's about 15 minutes away. You get free parking. For me, it's like 3 minutes from my house. I love it. I mean, it is the best cinema complex for my money in the universe, just based on the number of screens, and everything looks perfect there. Let's talk about the evaluation of Jawan. If you're not familiar with this film, the first thing I want to say is there's a lot of comparisons between Jawan and RRR, and there's no way to miss the fact that the 2 films feel very similar. I mean, when you look at Jawan, you're looking at a film that is absolutely 100% audacious, very much like RRR, right? It's pulling together disparate elements that really shouldn't work together and sandwiching them together and making them somehow work, from the romance to the comedy to the action to the political intrigue. Really, this film for me, other than the insane action, and listen, as it builds, we get to some action set pieces with the trucks at the end of this film that is one of the better choreographed chase scenes I've ever seen. And then you've got crazy shit like a motorcycle flying out of nowhere with a chain. You saw RRR. You probably haven't seen Jawan yet, but you know what I'm talking about. Just stuff that makes you go, okay, this is absurd, but yet totally ass-kicking at the same time. But the reason that I like this film so much is that its message is down with corruption. The number 1 problem in the world, as we go a little political here, there's no question, you guys know this. If we were to get rid of all the corrupt people in society, we would be living in utopia. The problem is that we have corruption across every single level of this world. I don't care what you look at, there is corruption involved. And the problem is you have people obviously taking money because of greed, and that is what makes this world suck at times, because you have people that have bad motives and they are doing the wrong thing for cash. And that is corruption, and that is what this film deals with. How far will you go to fight back against the system? And that message is powerful in this film. And yet, in the best of ways, any filmmaker who delivers a message of that importance does so kind of Trojan horsingly, as it were. you get this film that really doesn't feel like that, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get this political statement about the corruption in India and all of the politics involved there that I personally don't really have the history of. But when you watch the film, you understand what is going on with that corrupt system. And that's why Jawan is one of the best films of the year for me, based on whenever you take big swings like this, giant risks like Jawan does, and then you connect most of the time, right? There's a few things I would change here and there, but in general, this is a very strong film. And let me tell you something. If India does not make this their international feature submission for the Oscars this year, after last year, they went RRR. If they do not do Jawan here, that is 2 in a row, and whoever is in the selection committee needs to be booted on their ass. I want them out. They should be fired, all of them, because they're corrupt. That's what this movie will end up being if it doesn't get the Oscar nomination, is that it'll be the corruption of the India Film Committee that is picking these films. It'll be another fail. They better get it right. Jawan is the easy selection for you, India. Make it. Okay, right now we have TIFF underway. That is the Toronto International Film Festival. And we have a guest joining us again tonight who has been away from his pad for like over 10 days, I want to say now. Has it been 10 days, Scott, that you have been away? Are you starting to miss home?
Yes. I'm tired of living in a hotel room. I'm really over it.
Seriously.
With my great lighting and all this.
Listen, you look fantastic. Let me tell you, how many movies have you seen? If you added up how many movies you've seen between Telluride and Toronto?
I'm literally probably over 20 at this point. Close to 25.
That's a lot. In what, about a span of a little over a week? Has it been 8 days now? How long?
Yeah, so let's see. Telluride was a total of, I don't count Monday because I didn't see anything on Monday. So it was 4 days of Telluride. Yep. And then it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 4 days, 8 days in total.
And what's the most number of films you've seen in one day?
Five. I can't do. I used to go hard and was able to do like the 8 o'clock and then a midnight. Yeah, I can't do.
No,
I have to decide one or the other.
Yeah. The midnight's tough. I go to bed early, man. This is late for me, and it's almost 9 o'clock here in LA. What time? You're 3 hours ahead. It's almost midnight there,
it's
right?
11:50.
Are you going to a movie tonight? You gotta get off
In all fairness, it was weird. I was in. I was going to see the Michael Keaton movie tonight.
Okay.
And it was started at 9:45. And then it was like, I looked at the runtime, it was 2 hours, and I was like, I don't know if I could do this tonight. Yeah. Might have to push this off to tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah, and just real quickly before we get into some of these films, walk us through, for someone who's never been to Toronto like myself, and I imagine most of the people watching here, what is that like, getting a ticket to a film? How often do they show these things, like, a big film? Like, we're going to talk about Next Goal Wins. Did you see it? And then,
yes.
Okay, so let's say Next Goal Wins, which we'll talk about here in a second. How many times do they show that? They have the premiere, and then they show it like the next day 2-3 times? Like, how's it work?
So it's weird because the festival has cut down a lot since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. There used to be more theaters throughout Toronto. Mm-hmm. Like right now, everything's in the downtown area. There used to be a theater near the college at Ryerson University. There used to be a theater there. And then they used to use the Elgin and the Winter Garden Theater. Those theaters don't get used anymore. So they're all downtown. It's the Scotiabank is where most of the press screenings are. And then you have the Princess of Wales, and then there's the Roy Thompson Hall, and then there's like a Royal something or another. There's one more venue that's in between those two.
And everyone wants to get in the first one, right? They're like, I gotta go see it first, because it's so important to get that first reaction tweet out, because we make so much money from those, right? I mean, the cash is just rolling in from that first tweet.
Oh, the cash, yeah. I mean, I'm already counting my millions right now.
People think that they really do.
Eric, that's the real reason I go, as you know. I mean, yes, I'm just counting up my millions right now. I'm just like,
there's a ton of money in this.
Ferrari when I get home. And one a day.
Unless you're Grace Randolph, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it later when Scott's on the stream. I'll go. But unless you're like her, Stuckman, there's a few people that've been doing it for like 20 years, at least 10. And there's a few outliers. But in general, you do this because you love it. Like you're there and you're seeing 5 movies in a day, and that takes a lot of dedication. But you love film. That's why we do this.
Yeah. I mean, those people have been doing it. I mean, power to them. They cracked the code very early.
Yep.
They were doing it in, I want to say the year was like 2006, 2007.
Wow, that's so early. Hey, first to market. Listen,
Yeah.
being last to market like MMT, yeah, it is what it is. It's all good. It's all good. We're talking to you on a Sunday night. It's amazing. All right, let's talk about Next Goal Wins, because I know this is Searchlight's big film. There's the whole Army Hammer thing. They had to reshoot that with who'd they get to replace Army Hammer?
Michael Fassbender.
No. Wasn't Army Hammer another guy in the movie? He wasn't. Fassbender was in it. Didn't he have but didn't he play another role?
Was it?
Wait, who's the guy who fires him? Who's the guy who fires him in the thing? Like
Oh, okay. So there's Will Arnett.
That's who I think. I'm pretty sure it's Will Arnett who took
But wasn't it Chris? Who was the Chris Dell? Like there was 2 canceled people in this movie, right?
Were there? They had to go do both. I only knew about Army Hammer.
Hold on, we gotta look it up now.
But that when you have that happen, they're like, what do we do? And I don't know how big of a role that he has in it.
He didn't have that big of a role.
Well, there we go. See, either they cut the role down or that makes it easy. The hard part's if you have someone in there for a ton of stuff. So do they have another guy? Well, here I know this is Searchlight's big, right? They're going to really push this thing, and I imagine it's going to be one of those,
Oh, it was. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
So let me tell you something.
Okay.
That bothered me about that.
Oh no.
So someone who I really adore as an actress, her voice is used in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard her voice in the movie, and I was annoyed that they never showed her.
And who was it?
Caitlin Dever.
Oh, well, yeah, you're a big Caitlin Dever fan. So why was her voice used? Oh, okay, don't spoil.
No, I don't want to spoil.
Okay,
that.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty pivotal point in the movie.
Interesting.
But it is weird.
Yeah.
That
they picked her for voiceover. Was it like a voiceover? Or she played character.
It was a character, but it was like voiceover because they never showed the character.
Okay, so aside from that weird thing, that does sound strange. What do you think about the film? Where would you rate this as far as, what it's trying to do? That's what we always evaluate. This is like a comedy, correct?
Yes. I mean,
it's
very, very Taika.
Yep.
Very Taika.
Yeah. See.
And it's weird because multiple characters sound like Taika in the movie. As I think you've seen that from the trailer. Yes. You're like sort of like, is that Taika as another character, or is that just another character that sounds like Taika? Like, what's going on here? Because there's like 3 of them in the movie, and I'm like sitting there going like, is that him in makeup, or is that like an actor?
So wait, he's a coach of is it the Samoan soccer team?
Yeah, it's the American Samoan national team that was one of like the worst football teams in like the world.
Right. And he's a coach that comes from where? Where is he coaching before? Like a major squad or something?
Of course he comes in. He's from it's
Premier League.
Very Ted Lasso-y.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah.
It's just like he comes in. Yeah. And obviously this story is more original than Ted Lasso because of the fact that it happened way before Ted Lasso. Mm-hmm. But like when you watch it, you cannot not compare it to Ted Lasso.
Totally. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Because
this film should have come out, remember, a year ago, right? Was there 2 years ago? It was at least a year.
Oh my God. This thing was like filmed in November of 2019. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I remember putting this on like the awards ace films to watch like 3 years in a row, and it kept getting dropped. Like, are you going to release this movie?
It wrapped in January of 2020.
Oh my God. Yeah, and they're just sitting there just waiting for it. So wait, so it sounds like you're just like okay on it. Like it's not going to be. You're not that excited.
No, listen. I personally have a love-hate relationship with Taika. I find most of his movies very. You'll love this. Totally inconsistent. I like Jojo Rabbit. Like part of the movie's really good. The other part of it's not. His earlier stuff was like what really worked for me. Like what we do, like people forget, like he was responsible for, What We Do in the Shadows, like the movie. And I love that movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, when he started doing the Marvel stuff, and again, Jojo Rabbit to me was so like,
I'm not a huge Jojo Rabbit guy. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's by far like one of the best films that year. Like I said, tonally,
tonally. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god! Right.
But I think that's his problem. Like in general, I think most of his movies have the tonal thing. I mean, that's what I didn't like about Thor. Like, I know you like the last Thor more than I did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But oh my god, like the tone of like you're dealing with people with cancer, and then it's like jokey shit, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, no, like this does not work.
Well, that's
Cool Runnings. That is exactly what I compared it to.
Yeah,
it's Ted Lasso meets Cool Runnings. 100%.
So is it? So just assess it. Do you think the average person will like it? Remember that happens a lot.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah.
So the only thing that we talk about, and I personally thought it was the highlight of the movie, which there's the first trans football character is in this movie.
Okay.
And she's the best part of the movie. Now, I do have to wonder what people are, again, middle America is going to like think of that.
Yeah.
But I will say for me personally, that was the strongest the story arc in the movie.
Okay.
And I mean, it's interesting watching Michael Fassbender do comedy because I don't really think he's done that much of it before. He's more of a serious actor. So I kind of appreciated him kind of going against type and playing a character that I'm sure like a ton of other actors could have played very easily. But like, I thought it was a great crowd pleaser. And I mean, that's if you've probably been following a lot of my reactions from TIFF.
I haven't, because I don't want to know. I only want you to tell me now.
But
I honestly,
I'm
trying to stay away from all this stuff.
I've been enjoying the fact that the movies are not downers. Like I went to, it was funny. I tweeted today that I'm like 11 movies in and I haven't like disliked something. And then the next movie was like Jodie Comer movie, which like I love Jodie Comer. I really do. She's so phenomenal in like everything. But then it was like this slog of a movie that was.
Wait, which one was this? Is this Bike Rider? Or does she have two movies?
No. It's The End of the World as We Know It or something.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Wait, is that a Netflix? If that's a Netflix movie, then I don't want to talk.
Okay.
It's a
Paramount movie. It's a Paramount movie. Yeah.
I didn't even know they had a film coming. Where's this thing come from?
The End We Start is what it's called.
Is that a Paramount Plus movie?
It had a weird title here, like it was like Paramount Revolution or something. Like I couldn't.
That's old school. Wait, they used
Republic Pictures.
They used to have something. I want to say Paramount Vantage. That was a long time. Was that Vantage?
Republic Pictures was what the logo was, which was like also kind of like with Paramount. So
interesting.
I don't know if that's maybe what it's called here in Canada. But
I know you saw The Boy and the Heron. You seem to be a big fan. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, it's Miyazaki. It's very mature. It's a heavy watch.
Good.
It's not a
for animation. That's the beauty of anime, right? Because I've just started to get into anime. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the themes that are tackled in anime, you're watching an animated film. You're like, holy crap, this is deeper than 95% of the films that we get that are not live action.
Yep. And it's difficult, I think, for anime too when it's like dubbed, and that's the reason why I don't know. I mean, I personally like when I vote for things at various places. I mean, I'll still vote for Spider-Verse, like overall, just because I love the animation style, but I also was like more invested. But I feel like the Miyazaki thing has a really strong chance of giving like it a run for its money, just because again, you got to appreciate the level of storytelling and the richness of the characters and all that stuff that he does. I think that the biggest fear for a lot of people will be the subtitles, and how
it's such a shame.
It's a slow paced movie. I hate the word slow burn, but it's a slow burn.
I like that as long as it's not 4 hours long.
No,
I mean I don't mind something that is a slow character study, and especially in an animated setting. That is something unique. We should celebrate that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and you know who was here to introduce it, right? Who do you think was here to introduce it?
Who? Tell me.
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh no, he wasn't. Oh my god.
Saying his,
Wait, can I do the speech? Can I do the speech?
Yeah.
We're here because animation is film. I can do the accent. animation is film. You know, it's the same as all these other medium. It's film. It's not just an animated film. He does the same shit over and over, right?
Yeah, I mean, he feels so passionately about it.
No, I know.
But the thing what's so funny about Guillermo, which is why I give him like a pass with that, is like you can literally tell he's probably one of the only filmmakers who literally watches all films.
No, he's very passionate, no question. Yeah, right.
But like all these other filmmakers, like I mean, we always talk about Nolan, but like Nolan doesn't sit down and watch all these other movies. Guillermo's probably sitting down. Him and Edgar Wright are probably sitting down together, going like, "Oh yeah, let's go see this."
They're cinephiles. Yeah. Sean Baker's one too. Sean Baker always tweets, "I'm going to see this on film." And I think if you're a good director, you should want to see as much as possible so that you can possibly, be influenced and use something, take something, steal it. I mean, you don't have to obviously copy it verbatim, but you see things, you go, "Oh, that's cool." Like when you watch, have you seen Jawan yet or not?
No, I just it's funny. It's like this feels like RRR all over.
No. Listen, that's what I'm saying. You don't forget even seeing Jawan. You saw RRR. When you watch RRR, the way that film tackles the elements that it does, they can use some of that because you go, wow, I didn't expect them to go this route to get this heavy into corruption, which is what the film is. And that's the beauty of it. And I think it ties into what we're talking about anime. You're using it's something that shouldn't be as elevated as it is, and yet here it is, and you're kind of just blown away by it.
Yeah. And I think again, it's whether or not we can accept it as the Academy accepts it.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Bodie has a question for you. What do you think the seven veils? I failed. I don't even know what seven veils is. Oh, it's going to get clipped. Honestly, what is seven veils?
So Seven Veils is the Amanda Seyfried movie.
Okay. The Netflix?
No, it's by it's not
all I gotta ask.
Netflix, the only Netflix movie that is playing. Well, no, Rustin's playing here and Nyad's playing here.
You've seen those, yeah?
Yes, but then Painkillers or whatever that is.
Yeah, right.
Is playing here on tomorrow. I actually think tomorrow.
Okay.
Night. I gotta say this movie was like dark. Like it dealt with like incest and like life imitating art and like kind of vice versa. Like it's weird. It's based around an opera, and Amanda Seyfried's character is trying to do like a remake or a retelling of this classic opera, and then she's incorporating things from like the sexual abuse of her father into it. Like it's a lot. Like it's definitely not again. It's such a industry film Twitter type movie.
Of course,
like the regular people, like no one's gonna watch this movie.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly just like Mass. Remember Mass? Oh my God! I was dying when the guy just let me riff on that for a minute because I know you were with me on this. When I finally saw Mass, I mean, it debuted at Sundance. Oh my God, Mass is going to get everybody's going to get nominated. They might even all win, even though they're all supporting. They're still going to share. They're going to tie. I'm like, you guys are crazy. After I saw that, I'm like, this is going nowhere. Nobody wants to watch this movie. 4 adults in a room talking about how their kids were murdered by one another. What? Well, the one kid. What am I watching? No one wants to see this, and that's what you sounds like this Amanda Seyfried movie is. It's the audience. Who's the audience?
No, film festival goers. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, film festival people are like a fascinating breed. I mean, they're so committed. They go watch any movie.
Film Twitter. You're talking about
there's a whole bunch of people here. I mean, there's so many people who watch these movies at film festivals, and I'm like, I mean, even at Telluride, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah,
like,
I know it's weird. It is weird.
And it's like, and they react to things sometimes like they've never seen another movie before.
Yeah,
like, it's just like
crazy. They get wrapped up in it. You know how it is. They get wrapped up. You go, and that's why honestly I don't want to go to a film festival because I wouldn't. You don't either. You don't get wrapped up in it. There's a few of us that don't. We just watch the movie and we evaluate it. What else have you seen here? Because we have in Toronto. What are your favorite films you've seen so far? Because it sounds like Boy and the Heron's number one.
My favorite movie so far that I've seen, it might actually be out of all the festivals that I've seen.
Okay.
American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright.
Why
You
am
don't
I?
even know what it is. No
I'm
one
sitting there.
knows.
No, tell me.
Amazon,
I love Jeffrey Wright. I mean,
yeah.
he's so
So like
great in The French Dispatch.
Amazon and MGM have it.
Okay.
But I think like they were really hoping that like Saltburn was going to be like their
Yep.
big thing, and
Right.
then like as you know, they're pushing Air again because we all kind of talked
That's
to
right.
them at
Yep.
Telluride and kind of said Air is probably going to have a better shot than Saltburn. Like there's
Right.
elements of Saltburn that you can push, but like Air is like
Yep.
overall like
It's a
stronger.
the average person's going to love the film. I mean, I haven't talked to one person who says I don't like Air. Nobody's going to say that.
No, exactly. Like some people will say like it's overrated, but they're not going to say like, oh, it was a bad movie. They're just going to say it's just like, yeah, it's fine.
And so what makes this so good?
So it's
Other
a
than Jeffrey Wright.
satire about race in America.
Okay.
But it's so perfectly handled. I really don't want to spoil it, but so Jeffrey Wright is sort of like not. He doesn't buy into like the black stereotype, right? He's tired of seeing movies and TV shows and books about blacks as slaves, blacks being gunned down. He wants to kind of change the narrative. He wants to create like everyday stories. He wants to write books about the black experience that is told from a very wider lens and from a different scope. And he finds out that Issa Rae wrote a book that's about the black experience, and it kind of tackles all the things that he hates. And he gets this inspiration after reading it because nobody's reading his book, that he's going to create a alter ego and create a book that's like he creates as a joke, kind of mocking every single stereotype that's out there, like throwing in slavery and police brutality and all this stuff. And it becomes this huge phenomenon. And the way it's handled, like it's so clever and it's so smart. And there's like a great family dynamic going on at the same time, and like being honest and true to yourself. And then there's this whole Hollywood thing at the end, which I don't want to ruin. It has like one of the best endings I've seen.
That means that'll do well. Okay, so that's your sleeper. If that's Cord Jefferson, who's been a writer and done all kinds of things, as against his debut. So that is one I want to see. Because what you just explained to me sounds like the kind of film I want to watch. I want to be challenged, right? Yeah. I don't want to watch The Nun II. I'm done with that shit.
Yeah, I mean that one was really great. I will say that the other one that I've really enjoyed was Anna Kendrick's Woman of the Hour.
Mm-hmm.
Which follows about like
someone asked about that
serial killer who was on the dating game, and
so it's based on a true story.
It's based on a true story.
I like that.
What I love about Anna Kendrick is like she's very, obviously she's very cute and quirky, but like at the same time, like she knows how to really work with the tone.
Mm-hmm.
And
up in the air,
Woman of the Hour is just so good, and it's kind of. It has that weird moments where like there's some really haunting shit in it. Like we always talk about like how people don't listen to women and all that stuff. And I mean, this movie kind of tackles that, and it does so in like a really brilliant way.
Good. These sound all has there been, what's the worst film you've seen so far between Telluride and Toronto? Okay, actually, there's something I'm sure you've seen that's not good and also is like never going to go anywhere. What's the worst hyped film that you have seen between the two festivals, right? The one that's, it's going to come in and do so, and then you see it and you go, nope.
That's an interesting question.
Sounds like Saltburn, but you like Elements, but that's not a home run. Doesn't sound like that's a home run.
Saltburn's not a home run, but I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm thinking about the stuff that, listen, that Jodie Comer movie that was out today that like a couple people were like, oh, again, this is ironic.
Do the voice.
A week ago, it's been literally a week. We were on this exact stream, and people were dragging me because I said that Poor Things might be better if like a female had control of some of the elements in the movie. This week, I'm getting dragged because I didn't like the Jodie Comer movie, and it's like, you don't like female filmmakers. I'm like, oh my god, I can't win. Like I can't win.
Oh, here it is. I found it. The end we start from. It's an hour and 36 minutes, so that's good. Okay.
But it feels like it's 3 hours long.
Oh no, that's it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
By the way, can I just say that's actually a really good segue to talk about. It's not always the length of a film. It's the feel of the film. Like great examples, Jawan. Jawan's 245, but it honestly felt like 145 because it's always moving, constantly forward motion. So this is 136 and it feels like 7 hours. That's not good.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of movies here at TIFF that I think surprise people. I'll be the first one to say it. I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed Dumb Money. Because as much as I like,
you know what? I'm seeing it tomorrow, so I wanted to bring that up. Well, first of all, it's Craig Gillespie.
I know.
I mean, come on.
But
like you know he's got some talent.
The thing about Craig Gillespie, though, he's really good in terms of as a filmmaker.
Oh yeah.
He's not good on TV. So like he did that Pam and Tommy thing. I don't know if you.
I never watched it. Yeah, I know you watched it.
But it's too long. He drags it out too long.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think he did Chippendales, Welcome to Chippendales, which I also thought was like kind of like not that great either.
Yeah.
But his movies are like phenomenal.
I, Tonya, and then of course
Cruella. Yeah, I mean it's just he's been like spot on with the direction.
So you like Dumb Money?
Oh yeah, and then Paul Dano. I mean, people were trying to talk about Paul Dano for Fabelmans last year. I mean, I think he's really great in Dumb Money.
Good. Listen, I want to see the film. They're showing it. In fact, they showed it Friday. You know, sometimes they do that. The studios will show it, so they want that surge. It was at like 2:30. I couldn't get there, so I'm going to go tomorrow. It's tomorrow night, and then I'll post a reaction to that. But I have a feeling I'm going to like it because I love the energy of Cruella, and I love the film that is I, Tonya. Certainly, Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
I mean, how great is he in that? And I know Paul's a massive fan of Gillespie. He knows talent. Like I remember talking to Paul about that. Like he's worked with all these directors, Eastwood, and on, right on. And he was just like, no, Gillespie's got the real deal. He's got the talent.
Yeah, he's a great filmmaker, and he's got that style like we talked about. I mean, even the movie that I always go back to, and I had to look it up because I couldn't remember the name of it. Finest Hours was a very good movie.
I forgot all about that one. What year was that? Like 16 or 15?
2016.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, he really hasn't. He did Lars and the Real Girl. With Ryan Gosling.
That's Range.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Fright Night, $1 Million Arm, which I thought, a little generic, but it was still very good. Finest Hours, which I really enjoyed. I, Tonya, Cruella, and Dumb Money.
Yeah, he's getting stronger, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a director who, the first film's okay, like you said, $1 Million Arm, whatever, and then you go boom, boom, and then all of a sudden, here's I, Tonya, and then here is Cruella, way better than it should be because of his choices, right? And that's what we look for. When I look at Ty West and you watch X, I go back, I remember The Innkeepers. You probably don't even remember. No one remembers The Innkeepers.
Oh, I remember.
I saw that like way back. I was like,
by.
oh, what a boring horror film. And then I said, someone was saying X was great, and I go, well, not from the director I saw. And then, wait a second, you learn, you get better at what you do, and that's exactly what Gillespie is doing here, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's a really. I mean, I don't know if I would say, I would you agree that like I, Tonya is kind of like his strongest so far? Like that's
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So like
the performances, especially.
It's not there, but it's like consistent, right? It's like his work is very consistent. You don't really hit. And again, I agree with you about Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee. I have no problem with the performances. I just think that should have been like a movie instead of a miniseries.
Did you see Lee? I have that on Awards Days. That's one I'm familiar with.
No, I have not seen it. It's on my agenda for Tuesday. I think it's my last movie before I leave.
Well, Sham says it's underwhelming, so watch out.
Yeah, no, a lot of people kind of said it was very mixed.
By the way, this news came out. Paul Walter Hauser is going to be. He's perfect for the movie. Listen, I'm going to tell you a story, and you're not going to believe this, but you need to. You know that when I tell a story, it's true, Scott. So I need you to please listen to me because I need you. I'm going to do it for everybody and for you. So I started a script. You're not going to believe the story I'm going to tell you guys, but I'm telling you because I don't know how to lie. I'm literally Jim Carrey from Liar Liar. I started a script with somebody about a movie critic. And you can talk to this person. In fact, I beg that I beseech you that you call this person. And I said, you know who's going to be perfect for this? Paul Walter Hauser. And I said, the reason he's perfect is that he loves movies and he knows critics. He would be the perfect guy for this. And when I saw that it was a movie, I go, what are you doing? I go, my mind literally went, I lost it. I go, Tarantino. I didn't talk to Tarantino. I wasn't writing with him. That is insane because you see Paul Walter Hauser, you know him, he's such a talent. I mean, I'm not saying the only guy who spotted it, but he's the perfect guy for a movie critic. Like, perfect.
No, I mean, the thing about Paul Walter Hauser is like, we've all been champions of him. Like, that's the thing what I like about this industry is like when you're the early adopter of like certain actors, like you kind of feel like some way, like you're like, oh, I was like,
I know you and Caitlin Dever.
Yeah, I mean that and Kristen Stewart. Like it's like you're like these early adopters of these people before they became like these huge stars that they are.
Yes. I mean, no, but I understand that. But I think the other thing is when you meet them, like Paul, I met him at the Black Klansman, which always sounds weird when you say that. The party for Black. He was there and he had a New Japan Pro Wrestling T-shirt on, and nobody knows what that is. I mean, I do, and this was years ago before it was even as big as it is now. And I go, "Whoa, dude, MPJW," and he goes, AJ, whatever it is, NJPW. And he goes, what? He goes, how do you know that? I go, were you kidding me? I went to the event in Long Beach. He goes, no way. And he's just like the nicest guy. Grab me, like, let's take a selfie and have a drink. And he's that guy. There's not many guys like that in Hollywood. Yeah. He's real.
Yeah.
And that's what got him in trouble on Twitter.
In trouble, yeah.
He's real because he's like, when someone comes after you, you're like, oh yeah, I'll meet you outside. I'm like, yep, exactly. He said, get rid of Twitter. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm thinking of blowing up Twitter. It's useless. I hate it. I use it and move on. It's like an evil thing. I have to do it. All right, couple last questions for you, and then we're gonna let you roll out of here. What are you seeing over the next few days? Anything big, or are you pretty much done with everything good?
So tomorrow I see Hitman.
Okay. Yes, that's Linklater, right?
Linklater and Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell's hair looks terrible in that movie, by the way. Long hair. He doesn't look good with long hair.
And then
neither do I. It's why I cut my hair, by the way.
And then I'm seeing Pain Hustlers, which I don't have much hope for, just because Dope Sick already did it.
Because Netflix. Just say it, Scott.
Oh my God! I've been honest. Like this year, I mean, I like the 2 Netflix movies that I saw so far, and I'm shocked. No, I'm not seeing that.
You're not seeing Wildcat?
I heard nothing but bad things about Wildcat.
Then I want to see it.
Nothing about bad things about it.
Listen,
so many people walked out of it at Telluride.
Okay, can I tell you something? And we'll let you get off to bed because I know it's getting late there. Listen, a movie's bad if the film festival shills hammer a film. You know it's bad because they want to praise everything. So if something is bad, then it's toxically horrible.
Well, that was the thing that was fascinating about Next Goal Wins today, because I'm sitting there going like, okay, I'm going to be the guy who's going to be like, this movie's only okay. Like that's what I'm before the movie starts. Because I'm like, I'm not that big on Taika. And then I'm like, I'm reading the reactions. And I'm like, wow, these are like very lukewarm. I'm like, I'm actually giving this the higher praise than everyone else. And maybe it's because I went in with such like low expectations, but like it worked for me. And again, I think what my big difference was between Telluride and here is every movie I saw at Telluride felt like, again, it was so heavy. Everything was so heavy. So like, Dumb Money tackles like heavy themes, but it's super entertaining. And like the Anna Kendrick movie, Woman of the Hour, like it's a nice balance of like there's a nice comedy scene in there, like where like Anna Kendrick takes the script of what the game show was supposed to be and she changes the questions up, and it's such a great like 20 minutes of the movie, and then it gets really serious, but it's great to have that tone. but there were so many heavy movies at Telluride that I'm just like, oh wow, these are enjoyable. Like American Fiction, like it gives you like you want to think about it afterwards, but at the same time you're like laughing all the way through it.
Yeah, those are the movies we love. I can't wait to see it because, like you said, we've seen so many heavy movies, and it's just like, give us some entertaining stuff. I don't mind. Listen, I love a good heavy movie, but you can't just have that be your only thing you're taking in.
So the other than that, like there's a movie with Jesse Buckley and I didn't see Bottoms.
Oh, good. Don't. I don't want to go off on it, guys. Don't do it, Omega Swiper. Do not make me do it again.
I'll try to see it. I'll try to see it when I get home. But there's Olivia Colman and Jesse Buckley have a movie called Wicked Little Things.
Wait, they're in another movie together after the Lost Daughter.
Oh God!
I know. Remember that? What a drag!
No, I don't.
Was.
No, I think also like I saw Daddy-O with Dakota Johnson and Sean Penn at Telluride, and I still think I'm like having like flashbacks to that movie. That I'm like, oh, I can't.
No, it's not a great movie, but yet we were told it was. I think was it New York Film Critics Circle or someone gave Maggie like director and picture and screen. I'm like, what are we doing? Like this movie is like with fine the baby,
with best. the doll.
Oh my God, the doll. And it's just a bad film, just unenjoyable film. Like we said, you just want to be kind of entertained at the end of the day, and that film was absolutely not entertaining. I put the screener in because there was sitting screen, and I literally had struggled through. I had paused and walked off and did things and came back, and it was like the longest movie I ever sat through because I paused it 15 times.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that at Telluride, and I was just sort of like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, okay. Fingerprints. You can
Fingerprints. I saw it already.
And we'll let you roll after this. It's fine. It's a shrug. It's the Menzel shrug. When are you back home? When are you coming back?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other movie was like very understated here.
It sounds like listen. I'll be honest with you. Before we let you go off to bed, there's nothing that you're seeing other than the American Fiction. There's nothing that you're really going crazy about out of all these.
No. You know what the thing is?
There's no Tar here.
There's no. I saw Tar today. Never mind. But no, it's weird because there are no movies that are the slam dunk. Like this is such an off year where like you see movies that have all these elements to them that like, okay, maybe that's going to get an actor nom, or maybe that'll get a screenwriter nom. But there's so few movies that I think are going to get, I mean, it's weird because people are like, you're crazy, Poor Thing's going to get nominated for Best Picture. I'm like, of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is. 100%.
Because like right now, like what else? I didn't see anything else that I would put there. So
okay,
like,
just quickly before I have awards ace up, just real quick, and then it's okay. Here's what I got for you. Okay, I'm just going to go through the films I have that are like legitimate, hardcore Best Picture contenders, and then you tell me because you've seen some of these, and you can say in or out. Okay, Air, borderline, right?
Borderline.
Would you agree? Okay, Barbie, in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got All Us Strangers. That's not happening.
Okay, gotcha. No. I understand. I just have it on there, but yeah, I'm gonna skip some of these.
Not happening.
No, that's what I was gonna ask you next. Bike Riders. Okay, we haven't seen Bob Marley. That's gonna be late. Okay, that's gonna be one of the last movies in. Book of Clarence. I believe that's a very late movie as well. Chevalier. I just have it on. It's not gonna. It's not going. Color Purple is gonna be a big time. You know that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Dumb Money. Would you say yes or no to that?
Nope.
No. Okay, just an entertaining movie, but not a Best Picture. Okay. Did you see Foe? Is that playing there?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's not playing here.
Gotcha. Holdovers.
Holdovers, I think, is going to get in. I really love that at Telluride, and I'm seeing all the reactions. Everyone's really kind of falling for it, and I put out a tweet today. It's like it's one of those movies where when you walk out of it, you go, they just don't make movies like this anymore. And I think that's where people are going to go like, we need to nominate.
And we haven't had Pain in forever. Like, how long's it been, right?
Yeah.
Was it Nebraska?
A good Pain movie? Not was it Nebraska? Descendants.
Yeah, but I'm saying, was Nebraska's last film?
No, it was that terrible downsizing movie.
Oh my God, I never saw that. I remember that. Oh my God, I totally forgot. That's like in the blind spot, that film. I
Yeah.
never even got to that. Okay, I want to see the Iron Claw. I know that's a Von Erich pro wrestling. I can't wait for that. Sean Durkin. The Killer, we don't know.
No, it's
Doesn't
not
sound
happening.
like it. Okay.
I don't think the killer's going to happen.
Kill
You
the
have
Flower Moon's
Magazine
in.
Dreams coming out.
No. I have the triangle next to it, which means it's very questionable. I don't think it will. I'm just putting it on.
Next goal wins. You could take off too now because they
for
just
sure.
confirmed that
It's not. So you're saying it's not going to be a series contender because I got series contender.
No. They moved it out. They moved it out. It's now coming out in March.
Wait, next goal wins is?
Next goal wins. Yeah.
What?
They announced it today.
Oh, okay. I got to get that out of there. Damn, they really don't think that's going anywhere for sure. Okay, how about May, December? Did you see it or not? I'm hearing great things about that.
May, December, no. It's at not Telluride. Where the fuck is May, December at? It's at New York Film, which I'm not going to.
Also, it's Venice, right? Maestro, same thing. Venice, that's going to be a big one. Naiad, yes or no?
Naiad, possibly.
Okay. So let's go to Past Lives is getting in, which is like what?
Yes.
Right. I can't. No. Okay. Oppenheimer, in.
Yeah.
Poor Things in. Rustin, yes or no?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Wow, Netflix gonna be pissed off if that doesn't happen. Well, then
no,
what's Netflix?
It's gonna get.
What's Maestro? Is it only gonna be Maestro for them?
Coleman's gonna get in for sure.
Okay.
I mean, he may even win it.
But the film doesn't. It's one of those performances. The film's good, but the performances is the thing. I got you. Okay, Saltburn, no. I'll get rid of that on there.
Yeah.
I have Spider-Verse Listen, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility there. And I know you weren't as moved by it, and you've seen it, but a lot of people seem to be. You got to remember, zone of interest topic, right? Alone. Do you see any world in which the zone of interest gets in?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it because I think people will be so shocked by it that they'll be like, it's one of those movies that people will be haunted by.
There you go.
It will stick with them.
That's what I was.
But I don't know. It's interesting because I heard a couple people today say that Anatomy of a Fall they didn't like it.
Oh yes, that's right. Anatomy of a Fall. Yep. I got it on here.
Which I thought was better than Zone of Interest personally. But it was interesting seeing it with regular people, talking to regular people today, and people were not like as on board with it. I mean, Apple, I think really Killers of the Flower Moon are definitely in. I mean,
no question.
We can go through. I think we can pick the 10, right? Are we going to do 10 this year? Let's see if we can do 10.
Well, then I think we just did. We almost had 10. I skipped a bunch of things that have no shot, right? I mean, in for sure, Barbie, Oppenheimer, right? Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Poor Things, I would put 4.
Poor Thing, I would agree with that, even though I haven't seen it. Color Purple might be 4, though. Watch out.
Color Purple, I feel like it's got to be really bad for it to not get in there.
Okay, and so let's go to
Holdovers.
Holdovers is not a 6, is it? Is it a 6 seed?
Yeah.
Or is it more like a 9 or 10 seed?
Oh, yeah.
Napoleon, where no one thought Napoleon, is that David?
No one saw it yet. I wonder if that's probably going to be at AFI, if I had to guess.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. That's a late-breaking film. Ridley Scott, Joaquin Phoenix. Watch out. So there's one that you've got. Naiad, is that like a 10 seed?
A 10 seed, yep.
Got it. Oppenheimer's like the number 1 seed for
I would say like Past Lives is probably in the 8 or 9.
Yeah, yep, I would agree. Probably 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Poor Things, you said 4. Did you see Priscilla or not? Or is it showing there?
I think that's going to be, listen, I haven't seen it, but I think that's going to be another one of those movies where it's going to be an actor play. I think it's going to be the girl.
Yep.
And I think she's going to be the one, and maybe the guy, because the guy is also in Saltburn.
Yeah.
So they can kind of campaign him in both. And he'll probably get in for that over Saltburn.
Maestro's in for sure.
Maestro,
it's like the 5 or 6
seed. Is going to be in, yeah.
Yeah, that's 5 or 6.
Just because.
Even with the fake nose.
It doesn't matter because it's Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan. That's it.
Yep.
Like people love those two people. It's going to be in.
Wait, what's Fair Play? It's a Netflix movie. I'm forgetting.
Oh, it's not. That's not getting in.
Okay, I just threw it on here. The Creator, I can't wait to see. It's not going to get in.
Yeah, that's not getting
in. But Wonka. Probably not.
No.
Yeah, can I just, before I let you go, I'm going to agitate a ton of people right now, and I'm going to do it because I don't care. And then I'm going to let you go. Have you watched the Wonka trailer?
Yes.
Are you at the point now where you're kind of bugged by Timothée Chalamet?
Well, you know my answer to this.
No, but I don't know your answer. But here's the thing: I watched the trailer, and there's something about what he does. He's the nicest kid in the world. My God, when I met him at Critics' Choice, he came up and was like he had so much energy. That's not what we're talking about. I'm just talking about when I watch him act like as Wonka, he does this thing that I can't describe it, but it's like if I was on set, I would tell Timothée Chalamet, loosen up, let it go, let it rip more. He seems like he's acting, right? He's just holding back a little bit. Do you see that or not?
Yeah, I'm excited for Wonka because number one, I love obviously the original, and I'm actually one of the people who actually like the Tim Burton version too. I like both of them, and I just like that story in general. And it's the Paddington director, so like everything's kind of working for me for that.
Yep.
But I will say that like I don't get the appeal of Timothée Chalamet as an actor. And I've said this for a very long time.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I know like he has a big fan base, and I'm waiting for
it. I'm
waiting for a movie to like really like knock me off, knock my socks off with him. Maybe it'll be Wonka, maybe it won't. But like, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. It's like he's just like selling himself, or like
it's the same guy in every movie, pretty much.
Yeah,
and it's not that he's not that. Listen, I'm going to say it like this, and this will get me. The Timothée Chalamet fans are going. He's not that interesting. Does that make as an actor you have to be interesting? Paul Walter Hauser interesting.
The thing is that he's such a good-looking kid.
Yes,
and that's what the thing is. Because but when you you compare him to this was always the conversation when this happened.
Johnny Depp
kind of broke out at the same time. To me, Lucas Hedges was always the better actor. Like he took on projects that were a lot more interesting. But when you look at the two of them, obviously Timothée Chalamet is going to be the bigger star because of the fact that he's a better looking.
Right.
And that's Hollywood. That's it.
All right, we'll do a whole stream about Timothée Chalamet. I just wanted to I don't know why. I just wanted to see what I didn't know you didn't.
Listen,
I'm not saying I think he's bad. I just don't see how he's being pushed as the face of a new generation of actors. I don't see it. I'm waiting to, like you said, I'm waiting to see it.
Well, let me ask you something. So, I'm going to shout out this restaurant because they're fucking awesome.
Okay.
I go to this place called the Lobster Burger Bar here in Toronto.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yes. No, and it's great. And I've actually the manager came over and sat with me, and we were talking movies, and it was pretty awesome. But he asked me this really good question, and I couldn't answer him, and I've asked a couple people around town, and I'm wondering if you can give me an answer to this.
Okay.
Can you name me 5 actors who are in their 30s who you would pay to see their movies? Who are must see.
Mescal would be right there. But he's 29. I don't think he's 30, but he's close. He's close enough. Can we just grandfather him into the 30s?
No, we can't, because I can say Caitlin.
Ryan Gosling's in his 40s. Shit. Can I even name one? It'll hit me. It'll out of nowhere. It'll totally there it is. But right now, as you ask me that, I don't think there is one. But Chalamet's what, 25, 26, 27?
Yeah, but it's easy with those people. The younger generation, you got a lot of them. You got Amelia Jones, you got Caitlin Dever, you have him, you have
Tom Holland,
Stewart, Tom Holland, Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people you can name. But in that 30 range,
yeah, I'm gonna have to ruminate on that because I honestly can't think of anybody right now. But it'll come to me. But I'm taking. I don't care if Mescal is 27. I don't care. He's 30 to me. And you know what? It's fair to say he's 30 because he plays the dad of the young girl in After Sun, so he had to be at least 30. That's one thing. Paul H. He was like, "Oh, he's too young to have a daughter." I go, "Just stop. The movie's great. Don't do this to me right now. I'm having an emotional breakdown after watching After Sun."
Another person who I love, but they're not 30, is Daisy Edgar Jones.
Yep.
I think.
Elizabeth Olsen. That's it. Thank you, Johnny. I don't know how I missed that. Definitely Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen. I think you got
for
it.
Everything.
But can you name 4 more?
Nope. That's all I need is one. Elizabeth Olsen.
That's
the only one.
That's the fallback. I got
no
one.
question. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take my one. Austin Butler's 30. He might be. Is he? Yeah, I think he might be. There you go. There's
would
two.
You say Austin Butler is someone you would go to a movie for? I mean,
I don't Elvis. I'd go see Elvis too.
Elvis 2 back from the grave.
Ghost of Elvis. Oh my God.
Elvis 2 back from the grave.
Yeah, it'll come to me next time we talk. When are you coming back?
I leave on Tuesday night, and I'll be back on.
Good. All right, let's hang out. We'll go to some crappy movie party. We'll go to just something you've already seen, and I'll trudge through it, and then we'll meet for drinks afterwards.
As long as we don't have to go to something that I don't like. I mean, like the good news is that I haven't really disliked anything.
I'm going to make you see Zone of Interest again with me.
Zone of Interest.
So I know that's an uplifting, like the kind of thing you want to go out and have a good hard drink afterwards.
You know, like, you want to have a good time, let's go see Zone of Interest.
All right, Scotty Menzel, listen, safe travels back, and be good. Thank you for joining us again, and everybody say your lovely thank yous to Scott Menzel. Thank you again, sir.
All right, no problem. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, buddy. All right, we are back here, just me. So I imagine everyone's going to leave. I don't blame you, because I'd be like, I don't want to watch a show with this guy soloing, even though that's what the show is almost all the time. Okay, get ready. We got a couple more things I want to get to here tonight. It was awesome talking to him about the film festival. I think the takeaway from what I'm hearing is that there's just not a lot of great things. Like, there's nothing that he's saying that's like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, imagine if I were at, I think it was debuted at Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Tar was Toronto. If I'm wrong, it's Venice. Who gives a crap? Here's the point, is that if I would have seen Tar at Venice or at Toronto or at Telluride, doesn't matter where, I would have come out and gone, oh my God, this is the one, right? Like, you guys know that. I would come out of even Jawan tonight and I'd say this is India's international feature. Whatever. You know it when you see it. And it doesn't sound like there's anything that Scott's talking about here that's all that insane. Like, oh my God, you got to see it. But, you know, it's going to be a weaker award season. Once you got rid of Dune 2, we are all screwed, right? We're left with a bunch of leftover things. And I haven't seen a lot of these films, but there's just isn't. That's why Oppenheimer is the prohibitive favorite right now. No question, right, at all, that is exactly what we're looking at because of the money, because of all this. By the way, I want to show you this real quick.
I have to watch my neighbor's NFL Sunday ticket.
I want to make sure everyone knows how we pronounce Paul Mescal. I Googled this video, and you're going to listen to him say his voice, and then I'm going to show you his physique, and we're going to critique it.
People get confused with how to pronounce my name because of the drink mezcal. Everybody does it. So I pronounce it mescal, and I wonder if I launched a tequila line, I would have to. I pronounce it mescal, and I wonder if I launched a tequila
everybody
line,
mescal. I got it. Did you hear me? I got it right tonight. So I don't want to hear anybody say he didn't. His name is Mescal, not Mescal. And by the way, he should be 007. Why should be 007? Because watch, let me show you. If you haven't seen him shirtless lately, we're going to look at him, and you're going to see my physique critique, which we have not done in a long time. Last time we did it was Ryan Gosling and Barbie. That's been a while. Look at him. He's got the muscles. He's got the bicep, the tricep. He's got a little delt action, the chest looking good. He's getting there. I'm telling you, he's 007. And when I saw Carmen, if you haven't seen that film, watch it. It's got a great score. I love, what's his ass who did the score for that? Nicholas Patel. So talented. One of the best composers in Hollywood. And also, it's a weird movie. Millipede, who is Natalie Portman's husband, directed it. It was out earlier this year. None of you saw it. And I imagine if anyone saw it, come in and tell me. Carmen's cool film. Weird film, but interesting. And very, very much like Jawan, very audacious and very ambitious. So look, here he is. He needs to get a little more definition around the midsection, okay? But he's probably putting on muscle. It's hard to put on muscle and keep the abs at a six-pack. But hold on. Why is my thing freaking out on me? So here I went back to the video. He looks good. Do you guys agree? I mean, he's looking good there. There he is, shirtless, lifting. He's clearly getting ready. I just think he should be 007, right? Pierce Brosnan, Irish. Him, Irish. Let's do it. There's no reason why he can't be it. Paul Mescal. Sorry, Mescal for 007. All right, we're going to have one more or two things, and we're out of here. And then I'll do a couple comments, rapid-fire questions. Guess what? It's time again for the shill of the week. I brought this guy back. I've been waiting. I forgot to do this. So first of all, I'm going to bring up the Zach Pope page. Everybody, you guys excited to get after Zach Pope again? Zach Pope reviews everything. That's what his channel should be called. Zach Pope reviews every form of media that's ever been released. Here he is talking about the 9 Conjuring movies. I just saw the Nun II. I just saw The Walking Dead. I saw Ahsoka, whatever it is. I saw Across the Spider-Verse. I saw Netflix One Piece. I saw Bottoms. I saw the 10 summer movies. Ahsoka unboxing. I saw Ahsoka episode. Okay. Fast X Blu-ray unboxing. What? That has a 1.4 thousand views? God, I'm doing something wrong. You guys, I think I'm retiring tonight. If this guy gets roughly 1,000 times more views, I'm done. He got 67,000 views. Listen to this.
I just got to see Blue Beetle early. This is going to be my non-spoiler out of the theater reaction. Full review coming Wednesday. If you're watching this past Wednesday, my review is already out. And man, what a huge win this is for DC.
No,
my God. I know it probably won't do great at the box office, but this movie deserves all of the love, specifically because it's not focusing on world building, where the Scarab came from, building up the greater DC universe.
It's not a win for DC.
Really much looking at that at all. And that's where a great filmmaker comes in place here, because
great filmmaker
to put the main character front facing, as well as his family, as well as the supporting
I can't anymore.
Which
I
makes
can't.
You just fall in love with every single one.
I can't.
This film is a
I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. Oh my God, I just can't. I'm gonna quit, guys. It's over, because at this point, when he has, I told you guys though. The truth is, I don't even care. I really listen. I need you guys to fully understand that I never lie. When I told you about the script and the critic, I'm not kidding you. I don't. Why would I make that? What? Why would I do that? Okay, here's what I'm gonna show you. I got one more thing. This is a tweet I got today, and I said this is where it's like I'm done. I gotta just leave. I gotta leave this space. Someone replied to me today. Let me pull it up. I actually had to block the idiot. Look, you guys see this? I'll never be Grace Randolph. Oh my God. It's never gonna happen, guys. I'm never gonna be Grace Randolph. Like, the only thing that I had left in my life to aspire to be Grace Randolph. I'm never gonna be her. And to that I say, thank God I'm not gonna be Grace Randolph. By the way, yes, to put a main character front facing. I don't know. Whatever, man. It's all good, guys. All right. I gotta go. There's too many of these Zach Pope. I can't. Zach Pope beats us in views 700-1. So it is what it is. At least this is what makes the channel so great. I'm honest. I just told you Zach Pope and his crap reviews do 500 times more views. Crap reviews. Kill 1,000 times more, 67,000 times more reviews. This is wrong, and I am officially retiring. It's over. MMT is extinguished. I'm kidding. I'll see you Thursday, maybe, to talk about Haunting in Venice. I'll have the reaction to Dumb Money tomorrow. Short 2-3 minute reaction out of theater. Looking forward to it. Like Gillespie's last 2 films, certainly I, Tonya, and even when you look at Cruella, man, it's got so much energy and pop. Go see Jawan. It's in theaters. Go support that. Make it India's international selection. Make it happen. I'll see you guys Thursday night. MMT is out from LA.